You know, even just having that there feels weird. So it's like, it does kind of look like what they're trying to make it look like. But there you have it. 4chan, just pure mischief. That's all you can say about it. It's just mischief. You know, the golden art of trolling is is something to be admired, because it is an art form. You can't just go around. You know, people sort of say trolling is like this thing about, you know, just being mean to people online, and, you know, harassment and doxing. You know, that's what people are saying. But it ain't. It's getting a rise out of people and just sitting back and going, no, look, Honkler the clown. I mean, that was good, but this is just crazy. This is crazy. I mean, this, right? I mean, look, someone could take a screenshot of that right now, and I don't know. I'm getting I'm getting smeared. But this image now exists forever, so that's all right. And the fact that the fact that people are still banging on about the OK hand gesture being a symbol of white supremacy is just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Like, how can you get played that hard? How can you get played that hard? And how can you allow yourself to get played like that? That's the biggest thing. It's not just getting played. But it's going along with it and allowing yourself to get played, and allowing yourself to get wound up by something so stupid. Because, like, doing this, like, in my work, I do this all the time because I work with, you know, people who don't speak English. And I'm like, this is an international thing. There is some countries, I think it's in Latin America, South America, where this isn't good. But for the majority of the world, like, this is like, you know, an insult. It's like that. It's like something like that. But it doesn't mean, you know, one race, one white race, yada yada yada. It don't mean that, you know. And that doesn't mean that either. Now, the whole implications of turning a hashtag into a symbol of white supremacy, or the new Nazi symbol, or whatever people want to interpret it as, is, I mean, clearly, it's crazy. It's genius, because, you know, everything uses hashtags. Twitter is an abundance of hashtags, obviously, but then, like, you got hashtags on your phone. Press star hash, press hash. Like, hashtags are used a lot. They're kind of like, it's kind of something that, like, this, not everyone goes like, you know, it's kind of cheesy, like going, hey, you know. I'd like to do it, because I work with young people who are foreign, and I'll be like, good job. But, like, most people ain't going around going, hey. But hashtag, and especially the people that would be triggered the most, are using hashtags all the time. And I totally get it. It's genius, because you have to completely revamp a whole system. You have to change so much. The cost, like, there's financial cost involved. There's the amount of time, the amount of human time. Well, time is everything, isn't it? Human time, but, you know, the amount of human work hours that it would take to, like, get rid of the hashtag is phenomenal. It even stopped people from using a hashtag, like, because that's how it gets. Like, there's blatantly so many people out there who won't do this no more. Wouldn't want to be seen dead doing this. I'm doing this so many times on camera. But they wouldn't be, like, they just wouldn't do that. They wouldn't actually do that now. This is removed from their means of this is a way they will not communicate no more. This is banished. It's gone. They will not do this anymore. You know? And I think that's the beautiful point of the whole thing. And what people probably don't understand is how deep it is. Because there's it's the whole taking away of words and the hijacking of symbols. I mean, even the Nazi symbol itself, the swastika, is still used. in other cultures. It's used in Hindu culture. The Japanese use it. There's other cultures that use it. I can't remember. Like, because I remember being a little kid, and I had this Indian teacher, and she had some book. I remember we looked at it, and it had a swastika in it. And me and my friends were like, "Whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck?" Didn't bother consulting any of the other Indians in the class at the time, like our friends. No, we just jumped straight conclusion, like, she's a Nazi, And then, obviously, we got told. And later on in life, I'll tell you, like, I remember seeing it used in magic, in like, sort of used in the occult. Like, you draw a pentagram and you put a swastika in the middle, and it's like something for good luck or something like that. And in Japan, they I think it's temples and certain places are identified on maps with a swastika. So you can go around Japan and there'll be a map and it'll have a fucking swastika on it. Like, and there was talk about, because the Olympic Games is coming up in 2020, there was talk about removing it because people wouldn't get it. But people in Japan are very staunch. They're very national. They're like, nah. They're in our country. Like, if they can't be culturally aware of how we do things, then, like, that's their problem. Which is like, yeah, fuck them. Like, if you're going to go to the Olympics and get triggered by seeing a swastika and not understand, like, the meaning behind it, that is something that's been hijacked by evil. We shouldn't let anything get hijacked by evil. The fact that, the name Adolf is just a big no-no. Think how many people who had surnames that is Hitler. No more. Like, no more. Like, think how many people had to change their names after all that shit. There probably are still some Hitlers out there. Of course there are. I don't know how popular the name is. I don't know. But just think about that. And they hit the moustache. The moustache. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was the most famous person to rock that moustache. Probably still is, in a way. I think some people would probably know. Is he more famous? No, he's not more famous than Hitler, is he? What am I talking about? A moustache. You can't even have that moustache. Like, I got a friend who's half German, and during the I think it was the 2010 World Cup, and when England played Germany and got dicked by Germany, he was down the pub with his German shirt on, and he shaved himself to hit the moustache just to, that's next level IRL trolling right there. That's the only person I know who's ever rocked the hit a moustache. That's how bad it is. Like, when I seen it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, just imagine that. Just facial hair. The way you've styled your facial hair can suddenly make people feel a whole different type of way about you. It's crazy. And I think people hijacking symbols. This is good. This is good, basically, because the hijacking of symbols is shit. It's shit because, like, you could have tattoos of something. Like, say they hijacked the yin yang sign. Say, like, there's some fucking mental genocidal, like, lunatic crew use the yin yang. And they're like the yang. We're the yangs. We're gonna yang the shit out of planet Earth, like, and then you got people with their whack yin yang tattoos. Like, they're fucked, man. You got your yin yang and a yin yang poster, your yin yang jewelry, whatever you got. Like, I knew a geezer had yin yangs on his fucking chromes. Like, you're fucked. It's like, hijacking symbols. And it also brings it around, that we shouldn't let things get taken away from us. Like, that is the main thing. Words can have double meanings as well, especially, and symbols can have different meanings for different people. It's the same way as how the Union Jack and the St. George's flag have been hijacked. And the worst thing is, they've allowed it to be hijacked. It's been sort of accepted instead of people trying to bring it back. There was a point in the 90s where the whole Cool Britannia thing, which was fucking cringy, but, like, there was a thing of people were rocking the Union Jack for that. Talking about, like, groups like your Blurs and your Oasises, You know what I'm saying? That the whole court, it was like, yeah, it's the British flag. Yeah, rule Britannia. Yeah. And of course, you know, Ginger Spice at the Brit Awards when her titties popped out was wearing the Union Jack dress that everyone whacked off over. You know, there was, but now, and even then it was like, it was sort of half and half. But then as time went on, it just got worse and worse. Like the whole, just sporting a Union Jack. It's more St George's Cross is more the statement. Because when I see a St George Cross flag, a good example is where I lived in Camberwell, which is like basically on the border of Kennington postcode. So you had Kennington Park Estate across the road, and there was this old estate pub there, and like Kennington Park's like, you know, majority, you know, they had the Rasta Temple used to be there, you know, it's like, it's proper, you know, it's a proper black area with a lot of Jamaicans and so on, and Africans, like so blah 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 blah. But this one estate pub just had this massive St George flag draped down it, and like, but your instant thought is they're racists. That's a statement of some kind. That's a statement. We will not surrender. Like, but is it? But you don't know if it is, and that's unfortunate. And it is in a way that it's, like I said, it's been you know, it's hijacked by far right groups and neo-Nazis in a way, and yet we allowed it to be. We by going along with it, you know, we allowed our minds to get conditioned to seeing it and seeing something hateful when it should be something that's unifying. Because I tell you what, you'd get members of the BNP in Wales who'd be going around flying a Welsh flag, right? But the Welsh don't feel any type of way with the Welsh flag. They'll fly that fucking shit with pride. Do you know what I mean? There's a dragon on everything. No one would be able to appropriate the Welsh dragon. It's everywhere. You go around Wales, everything is like Dragon News, Dragon's Garage, Dragon Sports Club, fucking, you know, Dragon Police. It's just dragons. If anyone tried to take the Welsh dragon and use it as something as a symbol of hatred and evil, they wouldn't fucking have it. They'd be like, no, I don't think so, no. You know, even if there was a mass genocide committed underneath the flag of the Welsh dragon, I don't think the Welsh would budge an inch. They're going, nope, it's not a symbol of hate, it's a symbol of bloody pride, that is. Don't know what this silly knobhead was up to. It's nothing to do with us. I think that's how we should be, unapologetic about it. Because, you know, flags and symbols, that's all they are. You know, and a lot of stuff is how you interpret it, and we need to stop interpreting stuff in a dumb way and just be fearful of it. You know, I don't think anything should be taken away and used, and we shouldn't allow anything to be taken away and used as something that's wrong, as something that's deeply unsettling and disgusting. It shouldn't happen. The same way with language. You do it with language, which really, the way they take language away from us and then change things and say, no, you can't say this no more, because this is the same sort of thing. You know, oh yeah, you thought using the hashtag was alright? It ain't now. The same with language. And that's one thing that's already really pissed me off. Because in essence, English is confusing anyway. English words have loads of different meanings, and then you get new meanings as time goes by. I mean, look at the word bad. What was it? Probably like, was it probably the 60s or 70s when they started saying badass, and then bad became good. But everyone knows the context. That's the thing. It's always about context. So everyone knows, pretty much more of the time, unless you're really old, you're like, why are you calling that bad? I think it's good. No, it is good, but it's bad. You know, like everyone knows, she's a bad bitch. Everyone knows what you're saying. Everyone knows. Alright, you like her. Everyone knows. Because it's the context. Because there's lots of different words in English that have lots of different meanings. That's the English language. It's like an economic language. it's economic. You know what I'm saying? And not just, you get some words that are spelled a bit different, like damn and damn. But then there's words that that have exactly the same meaning. Like, I want to fuck you, or fuck you. obviously that's like one of the worst examples I can think of. You know, including the word, including the F-bomb, right? Right? Now I can say, in context, you can say, right, I'm going to buy some tasty faggots from the butcher, right? Or you can say, I want to have sex with a tasty faggot. Now look, it's the same, right? Words are spelt slightly differently. And that was an American word anyway that got shoved on us. Do you know what I'm saying? And like now we're just sniggering every time we walk past a butcher that still says faggots, right? But faggot has different meaning. And in fact, the other term for faggot has different meaning for different people. It's about context. It's like, that's real faggy shit. And the same thing with gay. Like, gay, why do they, you know, gay is ridiculous. The whole thing about gay. Because like I said, many words in the English language have multiple meanings. It's all about context. But not gay. Gay meant happy. Gay was I'm happy and gay and gay, right? And then people started calling homosexuals gay. Okay, and then they started calling themselves gay. And then some people say, no, that's well gay, that. But it changed over time what gay meant. And there's multiple meanings for gay. But it doesn't mean when you call something gay, it doesn't mean you're saying, oh, that's homosexual. But no, you're acting well gay. It's like, no. Like, because being an actual homosexual is just a sexual preference. But when you're being mad gay, you're being mad gay. You ever met someone who's gone, you are crazy gay? You know, because not all homosexuals are like proper gay. They're not. They're, you know, I remember working with a geezer for ages and them going, I didn't know you were gay. He was like, what do you expect me to be? Like, ooh. I said, well, you know, you do have the ones, you know, the ridiculous gays. And it's like, you are just so gay. Like, why are you so ridiculously gay? And that's how it goes. So you can't say that. And retard. I ain't stopped saying retard. Because I tell you why. Many years ago, the term imbecile was the same thing, right? So imbecile was actually a technical term you'd have for like the mentally challenged, if that's the way you want to put it. So you have the mentally challenged, and they're called imbeciles. That's what they say. You say your son is an imbecile. That's what they'd say. Oh, he's an imbecile. Well, he needs to go to the imbecile home and have his brain drilled out, whatever they used to do. Then they changed the word imbecile because they were like, no. And then it came retardation. He's retarded. And further down the line, as retard, you know, cemented itself into our psyches. I was like, right, that's the technical term. Then imbecile came a harmless insult. And we still use the term imbecile. Think how many people say, oh, he's an imbecile. Yeah, well, at one point, that was a technical term. And at one point, that was probably a derogatory term. But now it's just something that people say. So when they stop saying, oh, you can't say retard no more, and people go, all right, yeah, but we'll say that's retarded. You're an imbecile. You're acting retarded. But no, now apparently retard is completely offensive. It's like, to who? Who is being offended? And who cares if you're being offended anyway? But now it's like, oh, you can't say retarded. That's like as bad as saying an M-bomb or something. It's like, man, no. You're not doing this to us. Because you changed it once, you changed it again. And now whatever the current word is, you will change that one day too. And then suddenly there's words we're not allowed to use anymore. But at one point, this word was a technical term. Then it was an insult, and now it's just not as bad an insult because imbecile should be as bad an insult as retard. So it should have there should be the same taboo surrounding imbecile as there is retard, but there isn't. You say, oh, you can't use that no more. Fuck you. I'll say what I want. Do you know what I mean? You ain't language policing me. That's why I hate this shit. Language police. Like suddenly just a word you're using, and it's the context I'm using it. I'm not saying he's actually mentally challenged. I'm saying he's doing something that is challenging me mentally. I'm thinking he's being retarded. That's it. The same with midget. What on earth why did they change midget? Midget. Well, because some people started going around calling smaller people midgets. Oh, you midget. Alright, I'm shorter. Who gives a fuck? It's the same as calling someone a giant. It's like, is that insulting? Is it worse to be really small or too tall? Well, I'd say too tall is like, I know some real tall people who struggle. You know, they got to duck and weave all the fucking time. You've got a midget. So why did they change? And then they changed midget to what? To dwarf. Like when that happened, I was like, why are you calling him a dwarf, man? He's not like, because dwarf's a mythical creature from fantasy books. from Dungeons and Dragons. And now that's the polite, technical, politically correct term to call a small person is a dwarf. I was like, well, what's next? Goblin? Yeah? Halfling? What? An imp? Like what? Why? You put some things on people and then you take it back. Okay, no, you can't use that term anymore. You've got to use this term. You wonder why old people are fucking confused. My auntie, who is she's in her 60s, late 60s, maybe she's in her 70s. No, she's in her 60s. And she's so confused because of words like, just words for black people. She gets it because of back in the day, and it's like, she's like, well, they're saying, well, why do black people prefer being called coloured now? And I was like, no, it's they don't like being called coloured. It's they like black people. Like, oh, really? Oh, see, confused. She's confused as fuck. It's not her fault. And she could go around going, oh, hello, coloured person. And they'd be like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't know. Same with like half caste. Although there is different things behind half caste though, so yeah, leave that one alone. But then it becomes mixed race. Yeah, I mean, certain things you can just leave and not give a fuck about anyway. Like the M-bomb. I swear we reached a point where like it was done and dusted with. It'd been reclaimed. It was a term of endearment, and then I think we were getting to a really good point with that word, and then at some point it just went, no, fuck that shit. Because I think the whole point is when you're told you can't use a word and someone else can, that's when it gets fucked up. No, and it doesn't really matter about the history. It doesn't really matter about it. Like all that kind of stuff goes out the window, to be honest, because people just see elitism. That's what people see when it's an us and them mentality. You can do this, but we can't. It gets fucked up. End of story. It just gets fucked up. See how great this is. This trying to make the hashtag symbol a symbol of being a neo-Nazi. What conversation it can start. What debate it can start going, well, these words we can't use and these words we can't use. These symbols. It's ridiculous. Like I said. How the hell do we give so much power to a silly moustache? How the hell do we give so much power to a symbol that's been used by other people for thousands of years, and then one group came along and used it for about a decade or so? Alright, but they did some horrendous shit underneath that symbol. But doesn't all the great things that symbol was used for in the past, shouldn't that outweigh it? Shouldn't that outweigh all the bullshit? I think it should. And I'm being serious. I think it'd be, obviously, it's different in other parts of obviously across Asia, the Nazi symbol is very different. But I think it'd be a great time for us in the future in Europe that the Nazi symbol doesn't mean anything anymore. But Nazi means something. Because that's an actual thing. That's a term. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we know what Nazi is. And Nazi is getting diluted. The symbols are being strengthened. Like, this suddenly has loads of power. And it means fucking nothing. And yet the term Nazi, racist, white supremacist, is being ridiculously diluted. So ridiculously diluted. These people they fucking throw these words around like it's no one's business. Like it's like something like they won the Nazi lottery and they got fucking 10 billion worth of Nazi slurs to use. Do you know what I mean? 10 million Nazi labels, and they're just fucking spending it like Brewster's Millions. Like, well, I've got to spend it in 2 months, otherwise I won't get this other 10 million Nazis. Here's one. It totally dilutes the whole thing. And it fucks me off now. It really fucks me off when I see people just labeling any old person a Nazi or a fucking white supremacist or whatever it is. Like, because it's like, nah, man, you need to shut the fuck up now. Like, you're diluting something. A symbol, we should people claiming symbols and using it for themselves. I don't like people diluting an actual term that means something. There's no double meaning to Nazi, unlike other words, because it's not an English word. Alright? It's in the English vocabulary, but it's not an English word, alright? Therefore, there's only one meaning of Nazi. There's only one meaning of racist. But what's happening now? People are hijacking it and people are abusing it. And now the term racist is going to become like the new bad at this point. It will. So, yo, what? Yeah, saying, man, he's racist, you know. And it's going to be a term of endearment. It's going to be, it means he's fucking, he goes against the grain or something. He's a badass. He's a racist. And they'll do that with Nazi. It'll lose all its meaning. Those words shouldn't have two meanings. We've got too many words that have too many different meanings in the English language. We do not need more of them. We don't need it. We don't need more symbols. Because they will see, this is if this goes as crazy as it might do, then who knows where it could lead. I don't think it happened because it's just someone's going to have to draw a line in the sand, especially tech giants and phone companies are going to go, no, we can't remove the hashtag. It's like, it's embedded in, you know, it's embedded in code and shit. It's like, nah, man, are you fucking crazy? We're not doing that. You know, it's like the frog sim. You know, a frog terrifies people. A frog, this, a clown frog. You played yourself. So, yeah, long may this meme continue, and if it causes as much chaos as it should do, then good. If it did cause, you know, if it does cause a hell of a lot of chaos, maybe, you know, hope the only thing you could hope for is that people are gonna like just go, right, we need to reevaluate the way we're falling for all these hoaxes. We need to reevaluate. We need to regroup and decide what the fuck we're doing with our lives. Straight up, because where's it going to end? You know, what could they do next? I'm sure someone's thinking. I'm sure someone is always brainstorming what mischief they could do next. But I'd be fascinated by it. So this, I mean, look, the golden age of memes continues. NPC meme, Honkler the clown, the hashtag, fantastic. You know, if anyone, I mean. These memes are just so fucking strong. The fight is on. Talking about who's winning in the culture war, I mean, it's definitely the right wing. I mean, obviously, like, you know, the left wingers dominate entertainment culture and a lot of culture. It's just the way it is. Like me, I'm neither this side nor that side. I like to laugh at everybody. I refuse to, you know, I ain't ganged up. I'm a solo warrior. Yeah. I'm a fucking solo assassin. But when it comes to who's got the coolest head, who's the funniest, who gets the better of the other, I mean, hands down, it's not woke left wing people, that's for sure. They're losing, man. They're losing so hard. It's just funny. Like I don't know. And at this rate, you know, look how much this is making me talk about stuff. It's brilliant. Look, I will not be surprised. I mean, I'm going to predict this, and I'm going to put money on it now, because I regret not putting money on early with Donald Trump winning the presidency, because the odds when I called it were fucking great. I just don't gamble. But this time I'm going to do it. I predict a landslide victory for Donald Trump. And everyone was thinking, because a lot of people think, oh, Jeremy Corbyn would never get in, and it's like, well, I don't know, he'd probably sway it. I think we're going to go full-blown loony too. I think Nigel Farage is going to be, well, whoever gets appointed the next Prime Minister is going to be the next Prime Minister, because there won't be an election when Theresa May steps down. But I think there will be an election, which he said possibly in October is what he said. And when they announce that election, I think Nigel Farage might become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. That's the way it's going. Because, you know, this sort of thing will make Remainers sick. So therefore, this is the winning side, and therefore I think Nigel Farage, being the ultimate Brexiteer, the knight of Brexit, I think I just got a funny feeling now. I might have Prime Minister Nigel Farage and have a political party in power that's only been around for like 6 or 7 weeks. There's a prediction for you. And then then Clown World Order will be confirmed. What a fucking time to be alive. I fucking love this shit.